Okay, I guess I am going live. If anybody, let's see, I'm a newbie here. I'm learning how to set this stuff up. I'm with the light. Just, learning how to use this program. Trying to get a handle here, as you can see. Moving stuff around. Newbie here. Trying to set this stuff up. I'm with the light. Learning how to use this program. Trying to see. So as you see, I got the light and around with the light again. And let's try to get a handle on this. Have technical difficulties, let alone just trying to set up the lights. But that said, I'm getting out. I can see it on the video. I see that it is to my advantage to move things around a little bit. This is playing right now. I'm trying to adjust the camera. Like, said, getting out, I can see it on the video. See that it is to my advantage to move things. This is playing right now. I'm trying to adjust. But anyway, what you see on here is some of the jewelry that I made. I have a couple other things I want to put up so you can see. I made copper bracelets, and that's some of the copper bracelets right there, so you get an idea of some of them. I can blow this up a little bit more. But anyway, some of what you see on here. And I'm selling them down at Colettes Pictures Gallery here in Greeley on 8th Avenue. Anyway, they're handmade, recycled copper. And as you see, copper bracelets, and then a couple other things I have is gallery here in Greeley on 8th Avenue. This is a turquoise pendant that I have down at Colettes. I'll bake it up a little bit bigger for you to get an idea what it looks like. Sometimes I have trouble quite getting a handle on this, but anyway, so you can see the turquoise right there. It's a big chunk, and I got it from Tonopah. I went down and took a class in Tonopah, and that's what you see right there. Now, what I'm sharing right here is just some of the things that I put together using the software. And one of the things I wanted to share also was some of my jewelry pages, but just jumping back and forth here. I'm trying to get a handle on some of this stuff, as you see, and it takes a little practice, and I've been practicing. I've been trying to get it to the point where I could see this online and kind of get an idea of what's happening. And I guess I'm going to have to write me a script or something to get really focused on this, because as you can see, this is takes a little while to get a handle on this thing, to decide what I want to talk about and decide what I want to share. One of the things is my hobby is I also like doing jewelry and silversmithing, and some things I want to share with you that's on my screen. I'll take you to a couple of my websites so you get an idea. Now, this now is on the webcam. You might be able to see what I just loaded up. And it's my Facebook. I mean, it's the YouTube casting, but I'm gonna step out of here, and I'm gonna go to where I have my jewelry, where I sell my jewelry, and have the stuff out there online for other people to see. This right here is my website, and that website is if you look here, you can see across the top, I have my home page. It talks a little bit about me, and I can zoom this up a little bit so you can see it a little bit bigger. And one of the things about being able to zoom in, you see this artwork. Now, this artwork that I have here are photographs that I've taken, and I did a photo collage to put all this stuff, like you see right here. But to get out of this, I just press close, and I'm going to go back to show you some of my works. Here is a video that I was showing you a minute ago. This is black opals from Australia. We went on a trip there about 5 years ago, and I bought several opal triplets, and they're from Lightning Ridge, something like that was the name for them. But they have a black background, so it amplifies. Well, I back up again. They have a black piece of obsidian behind it to protect it, and also they put a piece of quartz on top of it, so it's like a sandwich, an Oreo. The black quartz gives it support and gives you that black color to show, make these colors, the fire stand out, and the quartz goes on top of it to protect it, because opals are pretty fragile. But anyway, I have a set of this that I made, and there's also a matching pendant that goes with it. You might be interested, let me know. You can also look online, if you're on Facebook, and look at Australian opals. That's where I bought it when we were in New Zealand, I mean in Australia. Now, the other thing I want to show you is some other stuff that I have for sale, and they're down at Colette Pictures. Colette Picture has a gallery downtown on 8th Avenue, and you might want to go down there and take a look at some of this stuff right here. I'm trying to turn off some of these links, and bear with me. Turning off a bunch of stuff here, but the other thing I wanted to show you was these shells, and somehow I got a little confused on this thinking, but anyway, what you see right here, I'm going to go back, and that's part of my problem right here. I cover other stuff up when I do this example. When I open this up and I wanted to show you that, the reason I was having trouble to show it because I had another screen open, and that was it. These are OP shells that I made. They're from Hawaii and Okinawa. They're limpid, and I cut and polished them. So there's some of those down there at Colettes. They're pretty reasonable price-wise. I can't remember, $10, $15. I sold some for a lot more. Here's a ring that I made. It's Punisher. It was a lost wax casting, and it's down there for sale. You might want to check that out at Colette Pictures Art Gallery, a showcase. And then a couple other things that I've done while playing around with my web pages. I try to come up with some animations, and this is one of them that I came up with, and I turned it into an actual animation, and this is just where I started, and then I did frame by frame, and I created an animation of this moving around on the screen a lot. See if I can find it if I saved it. This might be it down here. That's another variation of that same one. If you notice the placement of the feet. I can enlarge it, I can reduce it, I can move it. On the screen, right in here, of course it disappeared, so I have to change the order of it and move it to the top. So now you see this in the screen. And then I jump back and forth here. I open the screen up again, and I can show you the jewelry that I was talking about earlier that I have for sale. And let me see. I have a couple windows open. Okay, then I closed it. So this right here, you can see it in my desktop preview, and it's sterling silver, and then these are the opal triplets, and they're also available if you have an interest in something like that. And this is another ring I have sitting down at Colette's art showcase. It's a size 12. That's a piece of red coral that I cut and polished, and I use a toothpick to hold it. And that's available. And this is an example of what I have down there at Colette's art showcase. This is a little bit bigger, I think. Of course, it overpowered everything that you see on the screen. But you see some of the jewelry that I have across the top here. and see some of the other pieces, the rings I was talking about, and some of the pendants. And it says that I'm still recording, I'm still getting out. So that's good. Let me show you a couple other pieces of jewelry that I have for sale. This is pretty old. I made this almost 50 years ago. I made it in 1972, and it's turquoise, and there's a story behind that. If you're interested, I'll tell you. If you come back, these are some other variations of rings that I made. There's a Punisher ring, that's down at Colettes Art Showcase. This ring here, it's sterling silver, it's down at Showcase. This one I sold, and this one I sold a while back. These are pendants that I made in the past. It has a CZ sitting on it, right in here. And then these are sterling silver beads, where take a piece of solder and heat it, and you roll it into a sphere. I thought of doing some videos on showing you this, but I have to get this technique down a little bit more, and I might just shoot a straight video and then put it up on the screen. And by that, I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. This is a copper bracelet that I made from recycled copper. That's been sold, but I don't make very many rings because it's hard to get the right size, and that's a good excuse not to make a bunch. But, these are some of the copper bracelets that I made. I don't know if you can see it on the screen there, but they have a little bit of color, and the reason that color is there is because I used heat to color. I'm jumping over here to my web page to see if anybody's on there and anybody sees this live. I'm still learning how to do this, so bear with me. I went on here live and I had a screen opened up, so if there was anybody out there, I could see if anybody was connected or saying anything. I don't see it right now, but I'm going to keep this over here on the side in case somebody is actually live out there. Now, if you're new out there to this, you might find that you might enjoy doing this, especially if you have something to share. And there's people that have an interest in it. These are earrings that I made from turquoise that I went to Tonopah, Arizona, and went to Otterson's mine out there to go through their tailings. And we went and collected a lot of turquoise. And then I brought it home and I tumbled them. Of course, for me to tumble all the turquoise I had, it ended up costing me well over $1,000 to sign up for the class, to have a room for a week, and then I signed up for a lapidary class on how to cut turquoise. And anyway, this is a result of some of that turquoise. On the bottom are beads that I made with a dapping block, put out a piece of sterling silver and soldered them together. Show you some more stuff in case you're still out there and you're interested. Some of this jewelry I've since sold, but that's a tiger eye pendant. And actually, that might be down to Colettes. I'm not sure. I made a couple. There's a shell in Hawaii. Go down to the beach and look for beach glass that's been polished, shells, and this is a shell that I found. I think it held some kind of worm if you're into aquariums and salt water, they're a feather duster kind of. It's a real pretty plumage that comes out and sways in the water. Money clip. These money clips that you see there have since been sold, but I have a few down at Colettes that I made. This is a pendant that I made. I never did sell it, and then I dropped it one day and I cracked this glass. This glass is, oh, what do they call it? It's a special glass. It's been fused together. Can't remember the name. But it also had stone sitting and a few other things. Here's some of the other stuff that's sitting down at Colette's. There's the OP shell I told you about. Some tumbled rock. There's some pendants down there in case you're interested. Make a trip down there. She also sells a lot of art supplies, and different people have their artwork sitting down there for you to look at. I'll change this over a little bit so you see what I'm talking about. This is the page that I used to show off some of her stuff down at the art showcase. And I'm trying to shut off some of the windows so you can see this. Colette has a lot of different art supplies down there for sale, and is also a gallery. And I have her name up here, and I also had a picture of her to share. But that's the art showcase. If you're not familiar with it, you can go down there and fix yourself up with art classes. You can see here the time that she's open. Right there you see 9 to 5, and you just might want to get out there and see that. Yeah, okay. So I'm glad you're bearing with me here. I'll show you some other pieces that are available. See if I can open it up. But I'm going to flip back to this other window so you can kind of see what I am talking about. There's some that jewelry. You can go down to the art showcase and you can look at this stuff. Some of the other things that I got into is I like doing engraving. And when I do the engraving, I put it on here, but I did something to it. I lost the work. What I did, but I see. Oh yeah, okay. So it's showing up. This is some of the engraving that I've done, and actually I took a class from a guy out in Louisville, Lafayette. I've been teaching myself, partly because I'd done some of that as an industrial arts teacher. This is I made my wife a money clip, engraved her name on it, and this was a piece that I was just practicing on. Here's another one that I like. That's a piece of gold inlay in there. And over here, these are 2 rubies that I set. And I bought these at a Rock and Gym show. And this Rock and Gym show, they have a lot of stuff from India and third world countries, and they're hand cut. So there's a lot of irregularities in them, and they're something you have to see to understand what I'm talking about. If you're familiar with things that are cut by a machine versus cut by hand, as you get into something like this, that you see these small stones, uh, there's really a difference in the quality of what you see and the difference in sizes. Okay, I'm gonna go back a page, and one of the things that I wanted to share is that I am a member of this GIA, Gemology Institute of America, and I have that on here. That doesn't reflect a lot of what the work was. But, oh, here a while ago I was talking about the opals. I want to share this with you. Uh, See if I can get it to open up. Oh, oh, nope. Okay, bear with me. I'm scrolling through some screens, and I lost where I was at. So I have to get out of this. Those are stones that I made and I cut. Uh, this was where I was trying to show you a minute ago. This window says 1659. Trying to get it to open up. That's an opal triplet. If you look here, you can see that's a layer of black onyx, and there's a layer of quartz, and it's protected by those two types of stones, black quartz and black obsidian and quartz. This is what I would do when I was working out some designs. I draw them on my iPad, and sometimes I take a photo of in this case, the fused glass. This fused glass, uh, and I draw my design. Uh, dichloric dioxide. It's there's a name for the glass, and when I look on these web pages, uh, I had some in here. Let's see if I did. I might have taken it out. This one right here. This right here is what I'm talking about. That was that one that I was showing you. And you can zoom in a little bit more, but you can see some of the detail. That stone, I set that stone in there. And those are little frogs, if you can tell. And those are actually diamonds that I put in here for the eyes. They're less than, they're 0.8 millimeters, and that was a chore. But I had fun. That said, I'm going to back out of this, and on here I wanted to show you some videos that I posted on my webpage. These are also posted on YouTube, and the idea of these videos was that there are things that I've done in the past, and there are things that I want to share in these videos that I've done before. And this is a video of me setting jewelry, and you can go online and look at it and see some of the stones that I set. Some of the stones I bought, cut, from rubies to cubic zirconiums to that one there that I was playing around with. It's not set right. It was just laying in there. But I was just experimenting. There's that dichroic glass, and then there's CZs and some diamonds in there. You can see in that I'm using a Q-tip to pick up the stones, and that's how I set them. And that's where kind of the GIA, Gemology Institute, came in. I was taking a lot of online classes, and then eventually went down there to Carlsbad in California and took a couple classes down there. But here I am setting CZs and rubies and sapphires. And the reason I was using sapphires, I got a good deal on them. And they're hard. They're like a 9 on the Mohs scale. Not as hard as a diamond, but they're a lot harder. And you can see how tiny it is there. But anyway, you're welcome to go check out my website and see that. Another site that I want to share with you is I have what they call a Fine Arts America webpage. And on that Fine Arts America webpage, I'll type it up and go take a look at it. This Fine Arts America webpage, I have some of my work in there. I can sign in. I can go to my site, and you can see some of my work right here. Oops. There it is right there. What I was trying to do is open this window up a little bit bigger so you could see it there. And these are some of the things that I showed you there. You can look at them and you can zoom into them and see a big image of that stone. You can see it right there. And you can close it. Sometimes I forget how you do that. I think it's down here someplace. I just can't get the. So I'm going to go back one window, see if it'll close. All right. These are some of the paintings I've done over the years and some of the other jewelry that I made. And again, come take a look at it. You might see something there you like. These right here, this was rings that I made, and I took pictures of them, and I sold all these rings, or a couple of them were also gifts. Some more on that webpage. You might see some photographs you like, or paintings that I've done. This is a painting that I did, and I've sold the original quite a while ago, but I've had prints of this made that people like, and it's sold a few times. And the prints are very reasonable. If you look here, you can see that if you want to print on canvas, or if you want it in a frame, or you just want to print, or you want a poster, you can click on there, and this price there you see what it costs me. But if I wanted to make a 30 by 22 poster, and you want to see how it looks in your room above your sofa, there you see that right there. And of course, that costs a little bit more. And if you put a frame on it, but this would have cost me $41, so I sell it for $100 because I got to, get it out. You can also buy it with frame, glass. They have it on glass, all kinds of things. This is a photo that I shot when we were in Okinawa. This is of a beggar out on the street. And if I lost you, sorry about that. But I'm just, I'm into my artwork, and I wanted to find a way that I could share it, and here we are. Now I'm going to close this down now. I'm going to turn off my camera that shows my video capture on the desktop right There, now you see we're just back to a plain screen. And we're here on my YouTube live. I don't know if it ran out, if I lost it, what happened. It was still online. That said, I'm going to go ahead and end my stream. And I'm going to stop streaming.